Hello there, dear friends, and welcome once again to the Relaxed Fantasy Review. Today, we're going to be talking about a subclass of the Cleric, straight out of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, the Order Domain Cleric. Clerics get their subclasses right away at level 1, so a lot of folks like to take a single level dip into Cleric just to gather the powers that these subclasses can provide, and the Order Domain Cleric is a very, very interesting dip. There are plenty of powers that come from this domain that are right away at level 1. For example, they have their expanded spell list. Clerics get these spells that are automatically prepared for them. They don't have to commit to these spells in their spells known or their spells prepared. It's just always there. The spell list is actually a pretty good one. You've got Command, you've got Hold Person, Dominate Person, Slow, Zone of Truth. Very, very control-y spells. I mean, that's appropriate for the Order domain. I'd say overall the list is an 8 out of 10. It's pretty decent. You also get some bonus proficiencies straight away. Heavy armor proficiency, as well as proficiency in Insight or Persuasion. Intimidation or Persuasion. My bad. Intimidation and Persuasion, both good skills to have, and heavy armor proficiency is very nice. I say that these two together are 9 out of 10. Best cleric subclasses give you heavy armor martial weapons, but, you know, skill proficiency is still pretty good. The other thing you get at level 1, like I said, these subclasses are pretty stacked, is the Voice of Authority. The way this works is when you target an ally with a leveled spell, the most common way I could see this happening is by using Healing Word or Bless or one of those kind of spells that intentionally targets an ally. When you do that, they can use their reaction to make a weapon attack against an enemy. This is especially good if you have a rogue in the party or a paladin, someone who can get off a sneak attack or a smite. This is okay. It's not going to do great if you're buffing up your spellcasters because it has to be a weapon attack. But it's still, I think, an 8 out of 10 power. So we're starting off reasonably strong here. Now, at level 2, clerics get their Channel Divinity option. And the option here is Order's Demand. Order's Demand is a tricky one because it's a charm effect. So you present your symbol, creatures within 30 feet of you make a wisdom save, and if they fail, they're charmed by you. But they're only charmed by you until the end of your next turn, so it's a very short-term charm. It does specifically say in the text that you can use the same action you use to use your Channel Divinity in order to get creatures to drop what they're holding. So I see what's going on here. They're trying to say, halt or stop or something like that, and then everyone drops their weapons because you have the authority of the Order domain. Now, this can be handy, but that's about all it does. It gets creatures to drop what they're holding and charms them for a turn. That way, and that can be helpful, don't get me wrong, but it's just one of those things that I see being useful once in a great while. Because as soon as you get all their stuff up, they're still going to want to run away or fight or whatever the case may be. And it's going to be useful a handful of times. So I say 6 out of 10. It's a little too niche to be one of those broad spectrum things. Now, the next thing you get is at level 6. That's Embodiments of the Law. Now, this one's kind of cool. Embodiment of the Law states that when you cast an enchantment spell on a creature that would normally take an action, you can elect for it to take a bonus action instead. This frees up the action economy, so you can still make weapon attacks or cast a cantrip or something else with your main action. This power works a few times per long rest, so it's not infinite. But enchantment spells are one of those things that can absolutely stop situations. They're a powerful school. You get quite a few of them on your order spell list, your domain spells. And yeah, action economy is king in D&D. This is, I'd say, an 8 out of 10 power. It's very much the kind of thing that will make a difference over and over. It's just not something you can do all the time. Then at level 8, you get the Divine Strike power. This is something that's pretty standard amongst several Cleric subclasses. When you make weapon attacks, you get to add a d8, and in this case, it's a d8 of psychic damage. At level 14, that becomes 2d8. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Psychic damage is rarely resisted, and Divine Strike is just a good power to get. I say 9 out of 10 for that. And then finally, at level 17, you get your capstone feature, Order's Wrath. When you use your Divine Strike, so when you hit someone with an attack, you can choose to curse the target that you hit. When you do this, the next ally that hits them with an attack, or the next weapon attack that hits them, will also do the same 2d8 extra damage, psychic damage, that you just did. So this is a good way that you can curse a target to pile on, and there's no saving throw for this. It just happens. The curse is... It's at level 17, 2d8 isn't a huge amount of damage, but the fact that you can do this and just keep piling the damage up from your allies, from yourself, it's essentially, it words like it's a curse, like it's a debuff, but in reality it's a buff to the next attack that's coming in. And I think that it's okay. It's the sort of thing that would work against like a big boss monster. Like I said, the damage isn't huge. 2d8 averages to about 9 extra damage, but it's 9 extra damage. I'd say that for a capstone feature, it's a little bit short. It's alright. Like, I would have liked to see this at level 8, for example, instead of the Divine Strike. Like, I hit a target and my ally can do extra damage to them, or I guess alongside Divine Strike. But either way, I think for a 17th level feature, this is a 6 out of 10. Not the greatest you're going to see. All in all, the Order Domain Cleric presents a mixed bag. There's some cool powers in here, some of which, do extra damage, or stop fights, or charm people, control people, get extra attacks off. It's a weird hodgepodge. To me, the thing that's really killing it is the fact that a lot of the better features, like the one that lets you cast spells as bonus actions, are limited in their use. And the higher feature is, just not bringing the damage you'd want to the table. Like, if it doubled the power of your Divine Strike and gave it to your ally, then we'd be cooking. But as it stands, I think the Order Domain Cleric is an 8 out of 10. If you're really interested in a cleric that can just stop fights before they start and can really have that kind of good cop feel to them, where they're trying to just keep order in everything, very, very lawful domain, then this actually could be a great pick for you. But 8 out of 10 overall for the Order Domain Cleric. This has been the Relaxed Fantasy Review. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe down below, and keep your eyes peeled for more subclass reviews coming down the line soon. Have a good one, my friends.